This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories.
And welcome to my review of the LEGO Marvel Collectible Minifigure Series 1. This is a series from about 2 years ago. And the reason I didn't have a review is because until last week I didn't have the complete set. The last figure I needed was Scarlet Witch. And I picked her up through Bricklink, and the order arrived last week. And I will also have a review of the second series, which I was able to find at a CVS this previous weekend, out in about half an hour. So let's go straight into it and going through the figures in order. But first, I want to take a look at some cool stuff I was able to get from it. When I went to, I believe it was a Walmart, I was able to get this box, which the figures go in, and the packs would be stored like this. This is the pack, and this is from when I bought the Loki one. That's why there's a Loki logo on the back. There's also this, which is the minifigure sheet, and if we unfold it, you can see the figures on the front side, and on the back side there are the instructions, so you can go and assemble your figures when you get them. I do have the characters in order of how they appeared, so I will be able to look at that. And after I go and close up the instructions, I can place it back in. And the side of this has all the characters. Backside is pretty simple. And the side has logos to the shows that are being represented in it, with WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, and What If. So yeah, let's move that to the back and begin looking at the figures. And starting off, the first figure is Wanda, and this is her as the Scarlet Witch. She has two of these power blasts, pretty detailed torso, one side with her eyes red and kind of a smile. Backside, she has a giant smile. Fold this up, you can see her robes, and putting this back on, she has a printed little crown on her head. I believe there's a dual molded one of this in the Sanctum Sanctorum set from last year. But still is a cool figure to have, and was just the last one because I managed to find everyone besides Wanda and the two Lokis when these were originally out. But now that I was able to get the other ones through orders. The second figure is White Vision. He includes this little computer panel, and it's pretty detailed but simple printing of his gray body with the white lines. It's basically identical on both sides. He has a stone something up here to replace from the Mind Stone. And the backside is pretty simple. He has some cool dual molded legs. He's a nice inclusion, and it's nice to have that version of him. The weakest figure of this is Monica, and she just includes this little helicopter build. Has no printing on her legs. Only thing really interesting is this sword logo uniform and the printing on the side. Kind of as a neutral version here, and That's on the back side. I think this hairprint piece was also new when this came out, but I'm not 100% sure about that. And yeah, she's a pretty simple figure. The next one we have is Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier or White Wolf, and he includes a knife, a Captain America shield. He has his vibranium arm printed on one side, which is nice because I believe before this the only one we could get was the Bricktober pack, which cost a bunch of money. He has no real printing on the other arm, which is, it's plain, but it's fine. He has some really good printing on his front torso and really good on his back. And yeah, honestly, it's cool to have him. I think this is my first version of Bucky I got, so it was a cool addition. The next figure we have is Sam Wilson's Captain America. This is one of the most detailed ones. Actually, this is the most detailed one from the series, and probably what looks the best of all of them. At least for, the pieces he has. Because I really like the look of the SpiderMan. And on his front side, he has a Captain America suit with the star. You can see his goggles and this, at the time, new hairpiece. He has the same Captain America shield. Cool printing on his arms with the stars on them, going to his legs. He has these little wing designs on the bottom. On the back side of the wings, you can pop off this little triangle piece to be his little drone red wing, and as it flies off, is printing back there. And if we pop this off, you could see with a little bit of effort what he would look like without it. And also the top of his head is white, so if you want to have him for some reason without it, and make like a kind of different version of Captain America, you could, but it's kind of odd with his, have a little bit of his head showing. You don't have to make that like a normal mask. But if you put him back on, you can see it's a pretty simple backside. And yeah, so he's probably the most detailed of them, and is a really cool inclusion. I just dropped his shield. I am not going to be putting it in his hand right now because I didn't see where it landed. But I'll be putting it back after this video. Placing him back on. We can move into the next set, which is from Loki. And starting off, we have Loki, who has some great inclusions with him. The first is the figure of Throg, who will actually be shown in a deleted scene when the Blu-ray and 4K releases of this. Throg is a really great character. He has this little cape at the back, his helmet, a little Mjolnir, and yeah, it's an awesome little figure. And Loki himself has this little TVA cup, his TVA jacket, a smile on one side, kind of a confusing expression on the back, and the variant jacket. And yeah, honestly, really cool figure. Yeah, I'm glad they included him, although he does typically have the jacket off during it, but I think just a figure with the kind of just like a white shirt and tie on is a little more boring than everyone else, than having the jacket. The next figure is Sylvie, and she includes, well, it's supposed to be alligator Loki, but it's just like a baby alligator. And yeah, I think it's cool. I wish that they also added like the horns onto alligator Loki, but I'm assuming they are just kind of cheap with this one. I just wanted that to have a baby alligator build or mold, and Sylvie is also pretty simple legs, nice arm printing, and has a cool design. She has two smiles, one on this side and the cool broken horn thing. And I think she probably should have had a more angry expression on one side, since she is really like one of the only kind of villains from this. Since she is, with Loki, sort of works with him, also does betray him in the end. Now looking at one of the coolest figures, we have Zombie Hunter SpiderMan, and just on its own, this is pretty similar to the one from the end of No Way Home. I don't know exactly how similar, but still looks really cool. And the figure has some really great details. You can remove the cloak of levitation to just have a normal Spider-Man figure. But before that, I'll have him with his Peter Parker head on. He has his web, and this head is great for Peter. He has a smile, a more nervous expression. The Spider-Man logo looks amazing. And you can just keep this figure on its own to have a great Spider-Man. And I have done that. I have, I think, one or two other ones of this particular character. And when you pop that off, he just has the web and looks incredible, and is a really great Spider-Man, and is probably one of, if not the best looking Spider-Mans ever. Also with the little web shooters on him is a really cool detail. I'll keep them like that for now. I'm just going to be putting these to the side. The next one is Zombie Captain America, which is another amazing inclusion. This one looks really cool with the battle damaged shield, having the torn up uniform, the zombie arm, and the kind of messed up helmet. It's a pretty cool, interesting zombie face. Nothing much on the backside, but yeah, honestly, it's a cool figure. It's odd that they decided to put in so many Captain America type characters. That there's also like 4 Captain America, well, technically 3 Captain America and 1 Captain Carter shields in this, but still, it's a nice inclusion. The next figure is Captain Carter, who I think if they really wanted to, they could have cut her out of this, since she did also appear in a different set with the Hydra Stomper. And she has the Tesseract, which is just these two little, like, 2 pieces put together. I think it works better as 3. It came with the next one. That's how I usually keep her, but this is a spare one, and I keep just the 2 with her. She has pretty detailed printing all around. Going to the back side, you can pop off her hair. She has a smile over here and a more with an angry expression on the front. And it's overall a really great figure and a nice inclusion. Although, as I said, they didn't really need to add her, since she could have just been put in another set. She wouldn't be as detailed, but it's really cool. One of the interesting ones was StarLord T'Challa, and this is a really great figure based off of him. And with the actor, as you know, sadly passing away, it's just a really cool variant to have of him. He has a new StarLord helmet with the different hairpiece. You look at the backside, and he has his blasters. And you can take this off to put on again. Over time with another new hairpiece. It's a great face to really resemble Chadwick Boseman, and really is an incredible inclusion. And one of the oddest inclusions, especially with her episode not actually even coming out yet, although she has been in an episode of What If. The episode based on her and the set based off that episode came out 2 years ago, and this episode still hasn't aired, although it will be airing when season 2 eventually comes out, is Thanos Gamora. She has pretty interesting arm printing, a cool golden armor, which is definitely resemblant of Thanos. Angry expression on one side, Elmer going on the other side. Really cool back printing, and a nice hairpiece. And yeah, honestly, this is a really cool, but kind of odd figure, as I said, overall. And really the ones I think that they could have changed out is Captain Carter, Monica, and the Gamora. And they could have added in, a few other characters, maybe a few villains, or went into a few more of the shows that came out in 2021. I think that also the Watcher probably should have been in this one and not in the other What If set, which was the one based off of Gamora's episode. And Gamora could have been included in that one. Captain Carter could have been in the other Hydra Stamper set, and I could have just waited until the Marvels came out for the Monica figure, because I think that those 3 figures, they could have been changed around, and you could have got maybe, well, they don't need an Agatha one since that was originally one of the complaints, but since Agatha is in Series 2, they don't really need her there. Oh, that could have saved up a space in Series 2. They could have also added in maybe He Who Remains, the Infinite Ultron, and maybe even Zemo or someone else from Falcon Winter Soldier to try and expand the shows a little bit. But who really knows? I think it's still a great series, and no real, with the exception of Monica, really bad figures. And the 2 ones you could have, let's say, with Captain Carter and Gamora, although you could have some complaints, they are still really good figures, and were pretty prominent in What If. And even though the Spider-Man one is less prominent, I see it as still a great figure and a nice inclusion. And yeah, honestly, that's what I think about this series. It's a great series overall. And I think that honestly, Series 2 is probably just a little better. But you'll see, I'll probably do a comparison video between the figures, and we'll be looking at Series 2 in half an hour. So, well, it's not going to be really half an hour from now if you've been watching this from when it premiered. It's going to be like 13 minutes since this is at like 17 minutes right now. So, I don't know what you think. Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next episode of Legends and Theories.
Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.